Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Judane. Welcome. Today I will be telling you about the time that I got assaulted on the TTC. If you're not from Canada, the TTC is the public transit in Toronto. So let's get right into the video, guys. So when I was going to Humber College, I was studying nursing. I used to take the 36 bus to go to Humber College to go to school. Monday to Friday, every day, I would have a class at like 8 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, one day I was going to school. I had an exam that day. So I was doing some last minute studying on the bus. And usually when I study, I would have my earphones in because I would pre-record myself and then I would listen to it because I had a practical and you have to know the proper medical terminology. So at that time, I recorded myself and I was listening to my voice notes on the bus while I was on the bus. I also had like my book bag with all my my scrubs, my shoes, my equipment, everything you would need as a nursing student. So I went, sat on the bus. I was literally sitting in the back of the bus to the right. Everybody else was at the front. It was early in the morning. So I figured, you know what, because I'm going to be studying, why not go to the back of the bus? I didn't want to be disturbed by anyone. So a few stops later, this guy entered the bus and I didn't really pay attention to him, but I just noticed that this man passed all the seat them. Like when I say he walked by all the seats in the front, in the 4 rows in the back ahead of me, like, and the man comes sit on like literally right beside me. You know, like right beside me. Why would you choose to sit down beside me when you just walk by all those empty seats? Anyways, whatever. I continued to study, and then a few minutes later, he was like trying to tap my leg. So I said, "Excuse me." He didn't say anything. He looked away. Continued to study. Then he tapped my shoulders. I looked at him. He looked away. And he tapped me again and he goes, "Oh, can I have your number?" I said, "No, thank you. I am in a relationship. I do not feel comfortable giving you my number." And I continued to study because I thought that was that. Like, you know, who would have thought that someone would have assaulted me for not giving them my number? And from what I can remember, I wasn't rude to him, you know. I was kind, I was nice. I told him I was in a relationship. I said, "I'm sorry." Like, you know, like I feel like us women we're vulnerable, you know, because men, I don't know why, it's like men feel like we should give them our numbers if we don't want to. Why should we be forced to give our number to you if we don't want to? We shouldn't have to give our numbers out to you guys to protect ourselves from being abused, you know? So anyways, back to the story. So I thought that was that. I told him, you know. Then he looked at me and he said, at this point he was very angry. He said to me, "If you don't move from beside me, I am going to hurt you." And at the time, young Jadane was just like, "Hurt me? I'm not moving. I was sitting here before you, so you move. Me not moving. Me not move." And the Jamaican in me came out. I was like, "Me not move. No, I'm not moving." So continued to study. And this man, I swear to you, he was probably like 6'5". The man was a giant. 6'5". he stood up over me and he was towering over me, and I'm like looking up at him and I'm like, oh shoot, I should have moved. I should have moved. You know, and let me take off my glasses. I was like, you know, I should have moved, but at the same time, I was like, I wasn't even studying him too much because I had an exam and I just need to study in peace. So at that moment, it was the moment I realized, yeah, things are starting to get real, and he was angry. So he took my bag from me, my book, and he tossed it through the window on the bus. And y'all know, if y'all ever bought a nursing book, then you guys know that those books aren't cheap. They're expensive. So all my equipment, my scrubs, my shoes was out the window on the road. Like, what? So, and then after he tossed my bag with all my belongings out the window, this man just started beating me. And he was wearing the steel toe boots, and he was just trying to kick me in my face. So not only was he beating me, he was trying to ruin my face. Like, and I remember the first punch was like he was trying to get my face, and I went like this to hide my face, and then he started kicking me, punching me, and I fell like I fell down on the seat, and he continued, and people on the bus just started screaming. At this point, I felt hopeless, like helpless. I was fearful for my life. Like, I did not know what to do. Yeah. So I ran down to the front of the bus because there was no one else sitting at the back with us. So I was like, okay, maybe the driver doesn't know what's going on. So I ran to the front of the bus and I'm like, please, please stop the bus. This man is beating me, like, you know, and the guy followed me. He followed me to the front of the bus, and while I was talking to the bus driver, he was still kicking me, still punching me, still hitting me, and I'm in tears. I am crying. I am freaking out, like, and the bus driver looked at me, and you know what he said to me? Isn't that what you guys do to each other anyways? And my heart sunk. You know, like, I was lost for words. I felt like no one wanted to protect me. No one wanted to help this young, helpless nursing student on the public transit. And I didn't understood what he said in that moment. And I looked, like, I managed to like glimpse the other people on the bus, and I realized the man who was beating me, he was black and I was black. So I don't know, I'm assuming they thought we were together, you know. And he said, isn't that what you people do to each other anyways? I have people who actually have a job and want to go to work, and I will not be stopping this bus because these people need to get to work. So at this point, the man is still beating me on the bus. The bus driver ignored me. He continued to drive. And I was like, you know, nobody's gonna help you. No one's gonna help you. So I'm so emotional. Oh my God. Like, anyways. So I took out my phone and I dialed 911. I tried to call the police. And I had one hand with my phone to my ear and one hand I wasn't trying to hit him because I didn't want to make him more angry. So I was just trying to like protect my face. I remember saying to myself, do anything to the rest of me from the, you know, but don't hurt my face. I called 911 and I told the person on the other line what was happening. And she said to me, is the bus still driving? And I said, yes. And she goes, did you tell the driver to stop the bus? And I said, yes, I did. And she goes, and he's still driving? And I said, yes, ma'am, he's still driving. So at the time, I didn't even know I was talking to a 911 operator. I thought I was talking to the cops. So, she said to me, tell the driver to stop the bus again so I can hear him. And I told him, the police officer says to stop the bus. The man ignored me, straight up ignored me. And if anybody knows me when I was younger, you would know that I was so quiet. I was a nerd, didn't trouble anybody, didn't talk to anybody. I was very antisocial because, you know, I would keep myself to myself. Like, yeah. I never used to swear. Never. And at that moment, I swore for the first time. And I remember I yelled at the bus driver and I was like, the police says to stop the bus. And that's when he stopped the bus, finally. And the man that was hitting me, he ran off the bus. He opened the back door and the guy just ran out the back door and he ran. The police came. The bus wasn't allowed to go anywhere because they told me, you know what, give the driver the phone, because I told them that he wasn't willing to stop the bus, so they wanted to talk to him. And he couldn't drive off, he couldn't go anywhere, and everyone was stuck on the bus. And of course, people were yelling at me, they were upset. So not only was I assaulted on the bus by a man, women were also on the bus yelling at me because they need to get to work. I didn't want to stay on the bus anymore, so I decided to go outside, and I waited outside for the police officer to come. And when they finally came, I'm actually trying to hold back tears right now. Like, when they came, I had to tell them again what happened to me. And they ask, why am I even crying? Because this happened like years ago. Like, I'm a grown woman now. Like, I shouldn't be crying still, right? So, one moment. Okay. So anyways, I had to tell them again. Police officer asked if anybody wanted to be a witness. Nobody wanted to be a witness. It was just young girl, high school girl. She came up and she's like, I have to get to school too, but I'll be your witness. So she exchanged numbers. She gave me the number. They finally found the guy like maybe about 20-30 minutes later, and I was told that he tried to assault the woman police officer when she tried to arrest him. He was arrested. They asked me if I wanted to go to the hospital. They called 911, like they called the ambulance came, and I was so determined to go to school that day to do my exam, because there's no way in hell that I'm going to be doing this another day. You know, I only had my sister growing up, and we didn't really have a lot of funds for school. And I think that's what made me decided that, listen, I am not going to no hospital, which I should have. I was like, I gotta go do this exam. I can't. And at the time I was so scared. I thought I was gonna fail the exam or something because I didn't show up or something. I was like, I don't want to do this again next semester. I can't afford to pay for this course if I fail. And at that time I was like hanging by a thread. It was lab, guys. Nursing lab is no joke. And they were very strict. So you have to be present and you have to, you know, so you get the you get the idea. So yeah, I made up my mind that I wasn't gonna go to the hospital. I called my sister and I was freaking out. I told my sister, yo, I just got assaulted on the bus. My sister called my whole family in Jamaica. My mom was freaking out. My other sisters and brothers, everybody was freaking out. As they should, because, yeah, I'm special. So, anyways, I was like to the police officer, yo, I gotta go to school. I'm already gonna be late for my exam. It's in the next, I forgot how many minutes, but I was like, he's like, do you want us to drive you to school? I was like, yes. Yo, the people that literally escort me to school. It was I drove in the back of a police car. It was my first time. And they dropped me off at school and it was so weird. All the students were in the front of the college wondering, where is this girl coming from? In a police car. Look how mash up. Like when I say I look mash up, I did not look good at all. Yo, I should have went to the hospital. I should have went to the hospital. Oh, fast forward back. They ended up, the police officers, they searched for my stuff that the guy dashed through the window. So I was able to get some of my stuff back, but not everything. Some of my books were ruined. I remember I went to school and my professor was like, why do you look like that? You're not the patient today, you're the nurse. And I was like, I just got assaulted on the bus. And I told her what happened. And she's like, and you're here? I'm like, yes, because school comes first and I need to do my work and I need to pass. I was such a damn nerd. Yo, if it was fast forward 5 years later, I would have used that as an excuse to get out of the exam. Anyways, the professor was like, oh, I can reschedule your exam if you want. And I was like, no. I did not just come all the way here in the back of a police car like a damn prisoner for you to tell me that it's okay to do my exam another day. I'm doing the exam today. She's like, okay, if you insist. First of all, you guys will understand. You will know what I'm talking about. When you already study for an exam, studied your butt off, you want to do it now. I'm not doing it no next day. Because next day means I'm going to be stressed out. Trying to remember what I studied the day before for... No. We're doing it today, ma'am. No, ma'am. We're doing it today. I did the exam. And it was after my exam was over, yo, that's when I literally realized what had happened to me. And I broke down. Like, when I say I broke down, I had an anxiety attack in the hallway at Humber College, North Campus, to the point where random people they just hugged me because I was freaking out. I ended up going home after my exam. I went home. I was so scared to take the bus. So scared. And that actually motivated me to go and get my G1. So I studied for my G1 that night. And I went in the next day and I passed. I did not read a book. I studied online. And fast forward, I didn't go to court. They told me, oh, the guy went to jail. You have to come to court. I did not go to court. I didn't want to handle the situation at the time. I didn't want to see him. If it was now, I would have sued the TTC and I would have went to court. So one day, months later, they told me they released him because he told them that he had mental health issues, and he blamed it, what he did to me, on his mental health. Okay. That's okay. All right. Okay. Few weeks later, after his release, I was in Shoppers Drug Mart and I was getting some stuff and I saw him and I dropped everything and I ran. I ran. When I say I ran, that was the last time I've ever seen him again. Like, how ironic. Like, I don't know if he recognized me, but I recognized him. And I actually stopped going to that Shoppers Drug Mart because I was so scared to see him again. You know? Yeah. That's my story. I didn't think I was gonna cry, but I'm actually very emotional. I hope you guys like my video. Comment down below if you've ever been assaulted for not giving someone your number. Or comment down below if you've been assaulted. Comment down below if you've taken the TTC. Don't forget to share my video, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so whenever I post, you'll be notified. If this video brings value today, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay blessed.